In today's FX markets, let's take a look at the British pound futures as they're realizing a bit of upside today. After 3 consecutive days of downward price action, the British pound futures were able to find some upward price action today. And when you look at the FX markets, really a pretty quiet day across the board. The dollar index basically unchanged, right around 99. The euro basically unchanged today. And when you look at the other pairs trades, really nothing too outside of the range. Really, when you look at some of the price action today, we are seeing the British pound futures one of the better performers today, but it's only up 0.25% on the session, and reversing, at least for the short term, the downward trend that was realized the last 3 days. And I think when you look at some of the driving factors, a couple things. Number one, Fed announcement tomorrow, so showing of positions, I think, ahead of that potentially. Also, inflation data coming out of the U.S. today, a little, well, lower than what was anticipated. And I think that that's another factor contributing to why we're seeing a reassessment of short-term risk in the market, and that could be benefiting the British pound futures. And the third thing would be the rotation back into the equity markets, which plays into that theme of risk assessments in the market and also some of the dynamics of risk aversion. And so I think that as the equity markets are rising today, that could also be providing a boost to some of the FX markets here from a short-term perspective. Now, when you look at the British pound futures, intraday yesterday hitting basically a 14-month low. You have to go back to November of 2020 to see the British pound futures trading at that 1.30 level. So definitely at the low end of the range here for the last year and a half, even with the slight uptick today. And also, I think another dynamic will be over the course of the next couple of days, the Fed announcement, also other central banks expressing their views on inflation and liquidity provisions, and all those things I think will contribute to the price action within the currency markets. But when you look at today, the British pound futures stemming 3 days of selling pressure to find a little bit of upside today.